Hello my friends, this is Tanya and today we are going to make our own scroll pencil case. And actually it's not a pencil case, but it's a brush case, because I want to make a case for the brushes that have long handles. We are going to make our own measurements for this scroll case. I'm going to use a pure linen in two colors, the plain one and the printed one for the face side. So we have two main details, the measurements you can see on the screen, and I have one detail in printed linen and one detail in plain linen. Then pockets. The pockets will have the same width as a main detail, but they will have the different height. Be sure that you have folded parts of your pocket. Of course, you can save the fabric and make the pockets in one layer, but I don't know why I decided to make like double layer. And we have also our cap. We have two details of our cap, one in the plain linen and one in printed. And what I actually did, I just cut the rectangle, the simple rectangle, and then I rounded these corners. And also we will need one detail of Dublerin or interfacing in the size of our main detail. So I have this one, it's a cotton base, so it's not stretchable. And now we need to double the main detail of our scroll case. So I took the one that I have like a face detail, it's printed one, and I put on the top of the Dublerin, and I'm going to iron it that the Dublerin can stick to the main detail. And be sure of what side you put the Dublerin on your fabric, because the Dublerin has one side plain and one side with the glue. So if you put with the wrong side, it will not stick to the fabric. Now I'm measuring 1 centimeter from the top of each pocket, as you see, 1 centimeter, and I'm going to make the decorative seam. Just to make the simple straight seam on each pocket detail. Set up your sewing machine and let's start to sew. Here we are. So we have our simple straight stitching. Now we need to join two cap details together with face sides to each other. So as you see, to place together and stitch two details on the bottom cut. I'm just going to pin two details together that I can be sure that they will stay on the same place. Now I will cut off this little extra fabric. I'm going to stitch these two details. We've done with the stitching, and now you can turn out your cap detail. After you turn out your detail, just don't forget to iron it. Now we need to step back 1 centimeter from the bottom cut and make a decorative seam. And here you can see it closer. And now we are going to make the pockets for our brushes or pencils. So I took 3 parts of our case, 2 details of pockets and one the main detail, but not the face one, just the plain one. I'm going to pin all 3 details together and then line up the pockets. So the size of my pocket will be 2.5 centimeters. So I will line up the pockets on the whole width of our case. And don't worry about the numbers of pockets, because I'm going to start from the left, and the last pocket will be much wider than 2.5 centimeters. So 2.5, 2.5, and the last one is just around 9 centimeters. In case you can put razor or towel or something big than a pencil or brush. And as you see, I'm just marking with the soap the straight lines of our pockets. Okay, and now I'm going to make the simple stitching, straight stitching here, from here till the bottom, everywhere where I have the line, straight line, except the first line, this one, and the last one, this one. I'm done with my pockets, and now you can see it closer. This is the last pocket that I have, about 9 centimeters. So yep, this is our pockets. Now we need to stitch together our inner side and the back side of the pocket. So here I have the face side and the inner side. Let's just take away this cap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to join these parts to each other, face to face, so right like this. Okay, let me just turn it over to the other side. And on this step we will need 1 meter of cotton string. So I have my string, so just take 2 ends of your string, join together, and we are going to put it here. See, I have a mark somewhere around the middle, not somewhere but exactly the middle of my case, and I'm going to put inside, just like this. See? And now we need to stitch our details on 3 sides, like from the bottom, the left side, the bottom, and the right side. On the top we are going to stitch only for 1 centimeter, only just a little bit, so the top will stay open. Fix details by sewing pins, and now I'm going to stitch. Here you can see a little bit closer my stitching from the top, 1 centimeters, and now we need to turn it out. And now we are going to take an iron and just iron these seams. It's almost done, only cap is left. I will show you later how to make it. I just pin it with the sewing pins just to show you something. See, I have long handle brushes. It's perfect. It's perfect in our case. Also, you can keep the small one, and you can change the height of your case just if you want, in case you want to have the smaller one for the simple pencils, for example. You just need to change the size of the detail. So as you see, I have my brushes, then I scroll it and it looks great. But what happens if we just remove the brushes from the case? Just see, when it's empty, just scroll it again, and now you can see that our case doesn't keep the shape. But don't worry, we are going to fix it. For this step we will need the really thick interfacing or Dublerin. I have one that usually use in the men's shirts for the collar and cuffs. It's really thick, so we are going to measure our main detail to cut the same size of our Dublerin and put it inside. And here you can just ask me why we just didn't make this on the first step by just double the layer fabric. I'll tell you why. Because if we glue this Dublerin to our fabric and then we will make this stitching, this all details together, we won't be able to tone it out with this thick material. So the only way is just to keep the Dublerin inside your detail. And don't worry, we will fix it by making decorative stitching on the whole perimeter of our case. You can easily find this interfacing in the fabric store. I just came and said that I need the same one for the men's shirt, for collars, for cuffs. So it's not a problem to find this material. Finally, I put it inside and now it's time to make the cap. Now it's time to our cap. And the cap is optional, so only you can decide if you want it or not. I measure 1 centimeter from the top cut, from the inner detail and the face detail, and I fix it with the sewing pins. And I fix these cuts inside our case. And this is the closer look to what I got in the end. See? And be sure that your details are match perfect. Now I'm going to measure 1 centimeter from the bottom of our cap. Now we need to put the cap inside our case, inside for 1 centimeter by this line that we measured. So I put inside and I fix with the sewing pins, and I fix all 3 details. Okay, let me just fix it and you will see closer. Okay, here I fixed all 3 details: the cap, the inner side, inner detail and face detail. See, I just put inside for 1 centimeter and fix it. And here you can see it closer that I have all 3 details fixed. See? So let me just fix it here also with the pin, and I just iron the cap so it lays like this. So see how I fix my all 3 detail. And now you can just iron your cap in the inner detail of our case. Now we are going to make the straight stitching here close to the top. And I think that I will fix these details not only with the pins but with a light stitch. Okay, here we are. See what I have done, and once again we are going to stitch right here, so close to the top. And again I'm showing you closer that I have. And the last step, we are going to make decorative stitching 1 centimeter from every side on the whole perimeter of our case, from here, this side, the bottom, right side and the top. And by the way, I iron the cap to the inner detail so it lays like this. And we have our scroll brush case. And if you want to make the case for the simple pencil and like in small size, you just need to reduce the height of your main details. So you can keep the length the same, but you just reduce the height a little bit. I hope you like the result, and I hope you understand everything. And now I'm going to present this pencil case or brush case to a good friend of mine. She's an artist, so I guess she will be happy to get this as for present. And thank you guys for watching, and subscribe to my channel. I will be glad to see you there.